Hey Morganites, my name is Kamara Lene. Let's discuss what's been going down on Morgan's campus. Morgan State University secures a $1.75 million grant from Robert Wood Johnson Foundation to plan a launch of public nonprofit MD Medical School. Let's give a clap up to our nursing department. September 11, we not only recognized those lost in the tragic 9/11 incident, but we also hosted a phenomenal suicide prevention walk. Students joined together in unity for support and healing. Please remember, there are campus resources such as the Counseling Center, SDSS, and Invisible Warriors. Most recently, after the tragic shooting in Utah, HBCUs have started to become targets and threats. Morgan State hasn't been threatened, but we are still standing with our brothers and sisters. Finally, September 12th was the Student Organization Fair. The next upcoming weeks, we will discuss Morgan State's homecoming, which will be held October 5th through the 12th. Now switching to student highlights.
Hello, good morning, Bears. My name is Rebecca Ramsey. Today, we are here with a fellow Bear who has started their own podcast known as the Yard Talk, and we would love for you all to get to know more about them.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariana Smith, and I'm a sophomore social work major from Newark, New Jersey, and I am excited to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for taking the time to come sit and chat with me today. So, tell us about the Yard Talk.
So the Yard Talk is basically a podcast where we talk about all things related to HBCU life. So we talk about HBCU culture, HBCU history, and things of that sort in nature. So me and my co-host, she's from FAMU and I'm from Morgan State. So it's two similar experiences, but in two different colleges.
Okay, that's nice. And have you ever done a podcast before?
Yes, we used to do Living Black podcast.
And what was that about?
So Living Black podcast was a podcast we started during the pandemic, and we talked about what it was like to be African American in the United States.
Oh, that's nice. And what has inspired you to start this podcast?
So what inspired us to start this podcast is the fact that we didn't have anywhere to express our thoughts about living an HBCU life. And there was a lot of criticism towards us going towards HBCUs. So we decided to just start the podcast.
Nice. And what do you hope that your listeners get out of this podcast?
I hope that our listeners actually get to have a space to express themselves and a space where their needs and thoughts are actually understood, and they're going to understand that going to HBCU is more than just an HBCU, but it's a lifestyle, it's a culture, and it's different than going to a PWI.
Yeah, that's so true. What are some different ways that you connect with your audience?
So we usually connect to them through Spotify, which is our main platform, and also Instagram, the Yard Talk _
Nice. And how do you plan moving forward after you graduate college to continue the podcast?
So after we graduate from college, hopefully while I'm getting my master's, I can still film some content about what it's like going to HBCU, getting my master's, and hopefully we can film going to homecoming.
Yes. All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Ari, on behalf of BearTV, I would like to thank you again for coming out of your busy schedule to talk to me today. And I wish you the best of luck as your journey continues with the podcast.
Thank you.
And next will be CFF.
Welcome to Culture, Food, Fashion, where we talk about all things food and culture, but we also get into the high depths of the fashion world and industry. I'm your host, Alexis.
And I'm Jamia. Today's topic we're going to be discussing is the infamous New York Fashion Week. For those who don't know, New York Fashion Week is a week for fashion designers to showcase their new and upcoming spring and summer collections for 2026, with the official programming by the Council of Fashion Designers of America.
Numerous brands such as Ralph Lauren, Off-White, and Michael Kors host presentations for the press, industry insiders, and even potential buyers. And while it serves as an event for people to get glamorous and watch the beautifully put together fashion shows, it also serves as a major business conference to the fashion industry.
And with this, we get into our personal ratings of the celebrities.
To start, we have Love Island superstar Alandria Carthan wearing Ophelia.
Okay, I love this look personally. How about you?
I mean, the dress on her body is absolutely gorgeous.
Next, we have Usher wearing Ralph Lauren.
The look is kind of plain, honestly. We've seen better from him, honestly. We've seen a whole lot better. Like, this is just the regular black and white Ralph Lauren. Maybe he could have did something a little different.
I'm bored. Man, I got a little hungry. He looks like an Oreo cookie to me personally, so But I like you said, I think I expected more from Usher personally. He could have done better. We love Usher. We love Usher. Yeah.
Our third look is Ariana DeBose, also in Ralph Lauren.
Okay, I personally love this. I think it was classic. She looked very classy. Love the color scheme.
Classic, but also, I mean, for the event, I guess it is high fashion, but it could elevate a little bit more. Just a little bit.
She wasn't impressed, guys.
Just a little bit.
And our last look comes from Cyndi Lauper at Libertine.
She has a lot of polka dots going on, and but it matches slightly. It's the hair and the polka dots that go together. It's different, slightly different, but it's normal. It's not something that you would see in high fashion, but it's fine.
Yo, she's being nice. Okay, she's being nice. I thought this was Kelly Osbourne when I first seen her, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know who this person is. I was a little alarmed. I personally don't think this is high fashion, but you know, to each his own. Like you said, she did her best, so that's all that matters.
She did her best.
She did her best.
So out of everyone and out of all 4 looks we've seen today, who do you think had the best look?
Personally, I'm gonna have to go with my girl from Love Island. I'm gonna be honest with you. She was fierce. She looked beautiful, and everything just came together elegantly.
I agree, because even her second outfit that I've seen recently, it screams elegance. It screams queen. Yeah. And now out of all 4 looks, which one did you dislike?
Kelly, I mean, what's her real name, child?
Cyndi Lauper.
I'm sorry, Cyndi. I just couldn't get with it. I just couldn't understand it. But again, you tried your best, and that is all that matters.
I also didn't understand it for something that is a high fashion event, but that's for you. That's for you to decide, and that's what you chose to wear. So we're gonna move on.
And with that, we conclude today's episode of the podcast. New York Fashion Week officially began on Thursday, September the 11th, and we will continue to run this until Tuesday, September the 16th.
Continue checking out the hottest new pieces that these designers have to offer. If you want to keep up with the news related to Fashion Week, check Vogue for our daily updates about the show, celebrity fashion, and anything else it has to offer.
If you're hearing this, we have officially reached the end of the podcast.
We want to thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of BearPod, Culture, Food, and Fashion.
Tune in next week where we have our very own BearTV crew try each other's go-to meals.
If you would like to participate in the next food swap, follow us on Instagram and wait for our announcements. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Jamia.
CFF out.
What's good, y'all? My name is Goke.
And I'm China.
And this is BearFlix. This is a segment where we review the hottest movies out right now and just give you a non-spoiler review and just our thoughts on it. This week we watched Highest to Lowest by Denzel Washington and starring Denzel Washington and A$AP Rocky, directed by Spike Lee.
And Weapons, featuring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, directed by Zach Kreger.
Yep. So, Highest to Lowest. What's your initial thoughts on Highest to Lowest, China?
It was an interesting movie. There was a lot of creative choices that I didn't personally agree with, but I think it's also because in the movie, the screenwriter, it was the first time, Alan Fox.
Yes. Okay.
It was the first time he had ever written a script for a movie. And with Spike Lee taking that chance, it kind of shows that he took a chance on somebody.
Right.
And the casting choices, I think, are interesting. And the performances were lacking a little bit, aside from Denzel Washington.
Yeah, of course.
What are your thoughts?
No, I agree with you because I feel like with that movie, the supporting cast outside of Jeffrey Wright and A$AP Rocky, because Jeffrey Wright, he played his driver in the movie.
What is that? Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
Or like, you know, his man's, I'm forgetting his character's name, but he's always great. He's always great at everything I see him in. I just seen him recently in Fenotion Scheme by not Quentin, what's his name, Wes Anderson. I just seen him in Wes Anderson, and of course he was in the Batman in 2022. So he's relatively a good actor, and I feel like he definitely pulled his weight in this movie. But the supporting cast, their performances were just kind of a little lackluster. Like, it kind of just felt like, I don't know, it just wasn't, the acting wasn't really, it didn't really grab me, essentially. Like, I won't say they're bad written characters, but because of their performances, it kind of just brought the movie down just a tad bit. I also think that it is worth to note that Highest to Lowest is a reinterpretation of the Akira Kurosawa movie High to Low, which shares a similar plot. So I would actually suggest people watch High to Low. If you can watch both movies, it doesn't really matter which order you watch them in, but I would suggest that you probably still watch it just so you can get some like context that this is a reinterpretation of something. And me having seen High to Low, this being a reinterpretation, I guess it offers, I think like because it's in a modern setting, they can do more things, but it didn't really necessarily hit the same as the original movie did. I feel like Kurosawa had a way of like, his dialogue was so like perfect and good. Like, you didn't really, the setting didn't even really matter. Like, I'm pretty sure a good portion of High to Low, the original movie, it just took place in the dude's house. Like, just like, and they were barely, it was just a lot of talking. But it's like, another thing is, which brings back to the acting, like, those actors, they were there to like act, like you believed those characters were those characters. And not to say, because Denzel, honestly, you carried this movie on his back. I'm not gonna lie.
You can tell who's been doing this for a while versus like taking a chance on some other actors that were in the movie.
Right.
Where's my money? I got the 4-pounder sitting right here. Don't try nothing funny.
Right. I also feel like because it is an Apple TV, it is produced by Apple TV, so there was a lot of Apple product placement in the movie. Right. So like, I know like there's specifically a scene in the trailer where the police officer is pretty much he's giving the rundown of how they're gonna do the deal, and then he's like, he was like, the tracker can, he was like, this can all be tracked on your iPhones. At least that's how, like, he didn't say it like that, but that's what it felt like.
The ransom will be in a black Jordan brand backpack equipped with tracking device. You can all follow with your iPhones.
Because I was just like, okay, we get it. Apple, you're making the movie, you get it. Denzel was wearing Beats. I'm like, okay, Apple owns Beats. Like, we get it. So, I mean, it didn't really bring down the movie, but it was just like kind of in the back of my head. But Rocky, though, I feel like Rocky was really good in this movie, honestly. I really feel like he was pretty good. He was definitely like in his element because he was playing a New York guy, so like you could definitely like hear it, especially in his exchanges with Denzel. I feel like he actually held his own with somebody like Denzel.
Because Rocky's not a bad actor.
Yeah, no,
he's not a bad actor, and I wish I would see him more in media, especially. Right. But I think he did hold his own, especially with being with Denzel. Right.
Because, I would just I would just say I wish they probably fleshed out his character just a bit more, because I feel like we didn't really see very much of him, but he was still a driving force in the movie.
I got the blicky on me, OG, so don't try nothing tricky on me, OG.
He was important.
It was very fun. Another critique about this movie I had, like you said, it was written by Alan Fox, and
no shade to Alan Fox.
No shade to Alan Fox. But like, we all start from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't really feel like a Spike Lee movie to me. I don't know, because like especially when you watch things like, when you watch his old flicks like, Do the Right Thing, She's Gotta Have It, Crooklyn, when you watch those type of films, it doesn't really have that same Spike Lee essence. And so this can be argued to like, Spike Lee as a modern filmmaker just isn't the same. But even with The Five Bloods that came out in 2020, the one with Chadwick Boseman, Delroy Lindo, I feel like that still had like Spike Lee energy. This one didn't really have that. I wasn't really seeing that energy from him, to be honest. Outside of like a few shots, like his iconic dolly zoom that he always does. Like I was like, okay, it didn't feel like, and this is no shade to Spike Lee, like
no shade to Spike Lee.
Spike, come on, we love you, man. We love you, Spike. But it just didn't. It felt like somebody trying to make the Spike Lee movie and adding the things that they think Spike would add. But it just didn't have that same like essence. It just didn't have that same essence. But all in all, I still think it's a pretty decent movie. Like it's not a terrible movie by any means. Like I feel like if you have the time, you should go watch it. It's a limited screening though.
It is a limited screening.
But it is streaming on Apple TV if you don't get a chance to go to the theaters. Me and China actually went to the Charles Theater ourselves to go watch it. It's also where we watched Weapons. So Charles Theater is right. If you live in the HH Midtown area, it is like quite literally like what, 10,
walking
like
distance?
It's
not
like
even 10, maybe like
5-8 minute walk. Really, like it's very cool. Like it's a very cool theater. It's a very cool space. It's not like a super big name brand theater like AMC or Cinemark, but it feels very homey. It feels very good. I saw Superman there. I went to the Charles Theater for the first time to see Superman, and it was actually like a really decent experience. So I'm not mad at it. I say if you have time, go to the Charles Theater. But if not, you can watch it on Apple TV. It's streaming there exclusively. So now moving on, Weapons. Wow. Now you know me. I was telling you, I'm not a fan of horror movies.
Yo, Goke was shivering.
Chill. It wasn't even like, bro, because like y'all gotta realize, man, like, why would I pay to be scared? You feel me? Like, why would I don't like horror movies. Like, why would I get paid to be scared? But because everybody was talking about this movie, I was like, we're doing this segment. I was like, you know what? I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. It's time to put my fears aside and go see this movie. So I'm in there watching it with China. There, bro, like that movie had me. My heart was boom, 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 like the whole time I did. You can ask China. There were certain scenes where I literally was like
face covered,
because I was scared. But let's get into this actual movie because the premise itself is so scary. So if you don't know, the premise for Weapons is randomly in the middle of the night, a classroom of kids just they all walk out of their houses at like what 2:17
a.m.
2:17 a.m. They all run into the darkness and they're never to be seen.
Naruto running.
Like they're really
running.
sprinting. They're like really sprinting. So like
it's crazy.
They're just running and it's like wow. And then so it's pretty much just about the town grappling with the fact. They all try to blame Julia Garner's character, a teacher. Yeah. It was her classroom, and it's just like I felt bad for her because I'm just like, how would you like imagine like you're under watch of like a group of classroom, like a group of kids, and then they all just disappear outside of one.
Yeah.
One kid didn't disappear, and that's kind of the essential part of the movie. Like we
can't say anymore.
We don't want to say too much. So we want y'all to go see it too. But I'm pretty sure I don't know where it's streaming, but I'm pretty sure it's streaming.
It'll be streaming on HBO Max. I know that for sure.
Yeah, it is Warner Brothers.
Weapons. It's just like you said, grappling with the fact like Julia Garner's character was under so much pressure.
Mm-hmm, right.
And I think the way she deals with her pressure is something that's very relatable, especially with people who have vices.
Yeah.
And they tend to succumb to those vices when things happen. Also, the way it was shot was incredible.
There were some great shots in that movie.
The editing
was good. Storytelling, like when everything started, like I love when movies hit you with the like everything starts piecing together and now you're like really getting into it. Performances from everybody were incredible. Especially the kid character. I forgot. I forgive me for not knowing his name, but we'll probably put his name in post. But Alex's actor, amazing. Like he like as a child actor, very good. We also had stellar performance from Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, like they were going like. Also, another thing that I really appreciate about this movie, props to the practical effects, the makeup artists, costumes. It was everything was like very, very well done. It was very well done.
I really enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed myself too. And as for somebody who doesn't even like horror movies, I enjoyed myself. But bro, let me tell you, I come into my house usually because I have 3 roommates. So usually there's always somebody in the living room.
And it was raining.
It was raining
and it was dark.
It was dark and raining by the time we got out of the theater, mind you. Dark and raining. And mind you, I dropped China home because we don't live far from each other.
Like down
so I walked China home, and I'm like, dang, why can't nobody walk me home? Like, why can't nobody walk me home? Because like I'm sitting here checking my corner, checking my 6. I kid you not. I was walking. I got under a street light. The street light goes off. The street light goes off. I got to booking it back home, China. I did not know what to do. I got to booking it back home, and then. Nobody in the living room. It's all dark. My cat, he's a black cat, just walking around. I'm just like, bro, I literally said, come here. Because usually I don't let him sleep in my room because he be messing up all my stuff. But I was like, come here. Before I went to bed, I had to watch Power Rangers or something, man. I literally had to watch Power Rangers because I wasn't like, I couldn't go to bed off Weapons. I was probably going to dream about that. Like, because my dreams be so vivid.
No,
bro.
same. I had to like watch something before I went to sleep.
Yeah.
I saw it twice. Seeing it with Goke was my second time seeing it. Even after that watch, it was still just like... What did I just see?
See.
What did I just see?
No, I'm on China head too because she already seen the movie, so she shouldn't have been as scared as me. There was a scene where I wasn't even particularly scared, like it was like creepy, but then she was like, ah! And I was like, like, you know, like she just screaming right next to me, and I'm just like, bro, you already seen it. Why are you still scared? Like,
because like the movie does a great job. One thing I love about horror movies or suspense movies is the conveying of being uncomfortable and being uneasy. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an in your face. And I think getting the feeling that like you don't know what's about to happen, or just the uncomfortable stillness that you're waiting for something to happen and it takes so long for it to happen and then it happens out of nowhere. I love that, and that's how I felt during the movie.
It was very like in the movie, like I was some friends were asking, they were like, was it like scary? And I was like, not necessarily. Like it was scary, like it has scary parts and the concept itself is scary, but the movie was more unsettling. There was just a lot
perfect word of
there was just a lot of things that made you uneasy, unsettled, like people like walking around corners and things of that nature. Now, this isn't technically a spoiler, but this isn't technically a spoiler, but like I have a question. Do you sleep with your bedroom door open? Like, is that something that you do?
I sleep with my closet open.
Ooh. Well, no, my closet be open too. But like the door to your room. Like Shorty was sleeping in the movie, she door to her room open. At first I'm looking at her, I'm like, why would you do that? Like your house is dark. Like I don't like that. Like so it's just like that. It just made me uneasy. There were just things in the movie that just made me uneasy. But it was all in all a great movie. I definitely say if you have time, please go check it out. I'm sure they're still playing it at the Charles Theater. But if not the Charles Theater, I'm pretty sure they have it like Cinemark,
at any theater.
AMC.
Support your local theaters.
Please support your local theaters, right? Because without local theaters, where we gonna see our movies at?
Not
like,
for
where we gonna see the movies at?
Put money into third spaces.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to the third spaces.
Because streaming is, I'm not gonna admit, like streaming is very convenient, but like nothing really beats. I feel like even though we watched it, I feel like if we watched it on streaming, it would have compared to seeing it in the theater. You know, you have the speakers, you have your snacks. Like it's just even though like you had the people in the theater also reacting with us, it was just good. It was
great, such a good experience.
Not worried. What has been like your favorite theater experience like as of recently?
When I saw Superman. I'm not a superhero fan, so I don't really follow it. But watching Superman in the theater and everybody rooting for Superman, it was very, very fun.
Right.
And I like when the audience interacts,
not
obnoxiously, but like we're all rooting for the same team.
Yeah.
That also reminded me of when I saw Black Panther. I saw Black Panther in Prince George County.
Oh,
right, and Magic Johnson Theater. I saw it at Magic Johnson Theater. So you know, everybody was in there. Everybody was interactive. I saw Black Panther there, and I saw Get Out there. If you're gonna see like a black horror movie, see it in the blackest area you know. See it in the blackest area you know.
Literally, one of my favorite recent theater experiences when we went to see Sinners. When Sinners dropped, I think I saw it like I want to say if not opening weekend, like maybe the Sunday after, but it was packed. Like a theater was Sunday was packed. Like people coming out of church, like it was packed. But everybody, like it was great. Everybody was reacting. It was like. It's not no spoilers, but like if you've seen it, like it's been months, like it's been months, like everybody is seeing.
It's all streaming now.
But it was just there were just like moments that like everybody was reacting to that just made it fun. Like that scene when like Mary is like talking to Remick and she about to go back inside, but then he jump up after. Everyone was like, oh! Or that scene where he looked through the door, he was like, "Stay. Is that you?" And then he put the knife through the door. I'm like, bro, why? Stop putting your head to the door. He was blowing me, bro. But a good movie, great movies. Like cinema is back. That's all I'm gonna say. Cinema is very back, and we're here to highlight that. So that has been our segment with BearFlix. We hope you see the movie. Remember, we saw Highest to Lowest by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington and A$AP Rocky,
and we saw Weapons featuring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and directed by Zach Cregger. How would you
rate the movie? How many stars out of 5? How would you rate it, real quick?
So for Weapons, I would do a 4.5 out of 5, and for Highest to Lowest, I'd say a 3.5. I think we agreed on like the 3.5.
I would say like for Highest to Lowest, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and then for Weapons, I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. So we're pretty much in agreement for that one. But like, please go see it, form your own opinions, and tag us if you have anything to say. Tag us at BearTV, at BearPod. We're gonna put that somewhere over here. We're going to put it somewhere over here so you can tag us and talk to us about it. And if you're a student and you want to submit your film for us to review, please do that. We're going to give you the information. It should be somewhere in the description below. And my name is Goke.
I'm China.
And it's been BearFlix. Thank you.
Thank you.